All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of What's What BR. We have Mayor President Sharon Weston Broome with us again. How are you?
Doing great, Brandon. It's a great day in Baton Rouge. So far, so
It
good.
is. The If you look outside, it is beautiful. It is amazing. It is a perfect day. Just don't go walk out in it. You
Yeah.
might melt.
Well, you know what? I need to take a walk. I'm in my office, and I have purposed to do more walking in the near my office. I love to walk, and when I get off of work, however, I'm not as motivated as I am when I'm sitting here looking at the beautiful sunshine out of my window. So I might take a 15-minute walk before the work day here is over.
Yeah, I know. I said I was going to start riding the bike again in October when it cools off
Yeah.
because I picture myself getting like halfway around the neighborhood and like falling over in someone's yard and someone finding me and it becoming this bad situation with this heat. So, but it is a great day. We're getting there. We're cooling off. A lot happening here. There's a lot good. There's a lot bad, a lot indifferent, but diving in for everyone's time's sake because you've got more important things to do than talk to me. Where are we? Vaccine kind of things. How are things happening there?
Well, there's always room for improvement on the vaccination front. Right now, we in East Baton Rouge Parish, we have 42.7% of our parish that is fully vaccinated. Now, the good news is this is over a 1% increase since just last week. And 1% actually represents a few thousand people. So that's the good news. And the Pfizer vaccine officially has full FDA approval now. And so our hope is that this stamp of approval will encourage more of our residents to get vaccinated. We have a community vaccine site at the Mall of Louisiana. Our site is located on the boulevard between Sephora and the Apple Store. So if people want to get vaccinated, they can get a free Pfizer vaccine administered from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, and there's no appointment needed. So there are dozens of vaccine sites across our parish, and you can find additional sites at brla.gov/COVID. We all know, Brandon, that really vaccines are the best tool that we have to protect ourselves and our loved ones from COVID-19. They're quick, easy, free, and they can save lives. And, you know, I understand that some people within our community may not want to receive a vaccine, but I'm really asking people to consider our children who can't get a vaccine. So your immunocompromised friend who is at risk and the medical professionals who have worked so hard since day one, it helps them also when you get vaccinated. So vaccines will definitely help us fight the surge we're seeing in our hospitals and protect ourselves from severe outcomes.
It's out there. They're everywhere. You know, you can see everybody's getting them. I think I read today LSU said you were going to have a vaccine or I think it was a negative
Yes.
COVID test within 72 hours. I think that's 72 hours to be able to go to a football game. So I would think that alone would probably get a bunch of people to go get a vaccine. The way that everybody wants to get into Tiger
And
Stadium.
I'm looking very closely at our mitigation efforts now that the Pfizer has been approved by FDA, and so we might be transitioning into some changes here in our workplace for the health and well-being of our employees. So taking a look at that here in city parish government.
Yeah, no, it's a lot I don't want your job. Don't want it. Don't want to have to look at it. Don't want to have to make those decisions. So,
Brandon, if I may, I will tell you this though. I believe that it's better for us to use our resources on vaccines and encouraging people to get vaccinated. That's where we are right now in terms of vaccinations. And so these conversations are ongoing about vaccine testing requirements for our employees. because we were anticipating the FDA announcement. So number one priority is our the health and safety for our employees here in city parish government.
The city, are y'all back in work, or is it kind of a
Yeah.
mixed bag?
Yeah.
Everybody's back in the office?
We've been back for quite some time. Mhm.
Yeah, I never asked in the previous. I guess I kind of assumed that we all get up and go to work. So
Yeah.
that's good. So tell me, what do you know? Have you heard anything? I've had here, we're in kind of the hospitals, we get a mixed bag, of, I tell people, do not get your news on social media, try not to. It's go fact find, but have you heard anything, there? We're constantly kind of getting little updates and text messages make their way out, but figured you might know more.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, our hospitals here in Baton Rouge, specifically between Our Lady of the Lake, Ochsner, and Baton Rouge General Hospitals, there were 414 COVID plus hospitalized patients since August the 21st. And we had 370 were unvaccinated of those patients, and 44 were vaccinated. So really, this is the lowest COVID hospitalizations that have been between these three entities since August 5th. And so while the numbers are on a downward trend from where we were just a few days ago, we are still at some point, we still have some of the highest hospitalizations that we've had throughout this pandemic. So still have to work on that.
But as a business owner who's wired to being optimistic, it's getting better. It's trending in the right direction. So we're not out of the woods yet, but we're walking our way out, hopefully.
And Brandon, I have to tell you this, we tend to see surges during the holiday season. And, we have a holiday coming up, Labor Day, which is right around the corner. So I just wanted people to be kind of on watch for mitigating during that season as well. During that long
Usually, I tend to work on Labor Day. It seems like it's the only day I can get into the office and actually get a lot of work done because everybody else is out doing something else.
Yeah. So you take Labor Day literally then.
I didn't get the memo. We were all supposed to not labor on Labor Day. I thought it was to do extra. So that's thought it was just everybody went to work and you weren't allowed to call each other or send an email or a text and just get the work done that needs to be done. So speaking of work needs to get done, we had some drainage that we've talked about the last, a couple of months we've been on. We had originally, I think this was maybe 3 or 4 months ago, kind of the initiative kind of kicked off. I lose track of time these days, and we've been getting some updates. We had a bunch of people report in, going online and reporting, this is where water's holding. This is where we're getting water. We flooded, we didn't flood. How's that project moving?
Well, first of all, I want to tell our citizens that I thank them for giving us feedback in terms of issues that they're having with water management in their areas, because the truth is that helps us as we continue to build our stormwater master plan. But, back in July, when I spoke with you, we had 644 drains completed, 800,000 pounds of debris removed, and 1,300 linear feet of drainage pipes cleared. This was all through the $20 million drainage initiative that I implemented through our American Rescue dollars. So now we have more work that's underway, like our 5 tributaries project, our stormwater master plan, which is going to provide a comprehensive analysis of our parish drainage system. We have analyzed, and I love putting numbers to this information because it enlarges the thought process of what exactly is going on when we talk about, the 5 tributaries or the stormwater master plan. So with the stormwater master plan, we have analyzed 60,000 drainage structures throughout East Baton Rouge Parish to fully understand how water flows through our parish. Now, with that information, with that data, it is helping us provide address some of the drainage issues that we have. And it's helping us, this data wheel, to build a more resilient community as well. And so between that and, you know, our Jones Creek, Wards Creek, Bayou Fountain, Blackwater Bayou, and Beaver Bayou, much of this work has started. Some will be starting later this year. And so we will see changes forthcoming. I understand probably not soon enough for the average citizen, but we're working.
I'm still stuck back when you said 60,000 drainage. Like that's a lot of data to capture in such a short amount of time. You know, like we talked about this. You've had, you know, these guys have kind of ran for it. I don't know how to say it any other way, but they've, you know, identified an incredible amount and put it all together. I can imagine the more data that we have, the better it gets, and then you can identify where to start. But this is one of those things that I feel like kind of when we first started talking, we brought it up originally, and we're actually seeing, you know, hey, here's the plan. You know, we have the money. This is what we're going to go do. We're going to need input. We get input. We get the data. Now we start actually acting. You know, we're seeing something kind of make full circle. You know, like you said, it's maybe not where everybody wants it just yet, but it's moving forward, right? You know, we've collected enough data where people can kind of see the problem rather than just react to it. They can be proactive rather than reactive. So are you still looking for people? Is it still people can report in? So is it still collecting data?
We're still collecting data, so people can certainly reach out to us at brla.gov, and there's information on stormwater management, and you can certainly report information there, or you can report it to 311.
I'm curious. I probably know the answer to this, but how nice would it be if we got all these people that reported all the bad standing water and, you know, here's all the problems, if we could get them to come back when it was over with and say, like, would you report that it's not holding water anymore? And like, it is, you know, the problem was solved. I think too many times people like to just complain. And it's like, once it's fixed, it's like, well, it should have been that way. So I'm not going to go back and let anybody know that it was fixed. But it would be nice with that much data points to actually see, like, hey, you had a problem, you reported, we solved it for you. You know, you're not having standing water, you're not getting water in this area, but it'd be nice to see that.
I agree, and I believe as we work through these projects that when people see the changes that will take place, that they will reach out and give us feedback about the mitigation that has taken place since these projects started. And I have to say this, Brandon, because listen, I know I sound like a broken record with this, but I've got to say it. I understand flooding firsthand, you know, because in 2016, my home flooded. So I understand the frustration, the anxiety, the emotional upheaval. I totally get it. That's why it's such a priority for me to work on this. But I also understand, and this is where the education piece comes in, is that water is a way of life here in South Louisiana. The amount of rainfall, in fact, I don't have that data with me right now, but next time I'll have it. We've received more rainfall this year than we have in years past. But what people have to know is that the rainfall continues to become more voluminous, you know, more deluge that we're dealing with. And it's not the same water rain events that we had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And so what we're now working on is working to improve our systems so that we can manage the new, as someone put it, showers on steroids that we are experiencing in our city and in our parish.
It's funny, somebody told me that the other day, that we've had more rain this year than we had, you know, during the 2016 flood.
Yeah.
And they were also at the same conversation we were talking about, because they were having to get, and this is where I think if you're living it, you know you're living it, but a lot of people don't realize how many people are struggling. it's not like that we're flooding every day, but it's been so much rain that it's causing foundation problems for a lot of people in their homes. And a lot of these companies that do foundation work are getting, they're telling people, they're backed up because they've got, people that are on, what is it, built, pier and beam, the different, structures there. They've got foundations that are sinking. And we had this conversation with someone, and I was just like, why would your foundation? They were like, because we've had so much rain and it's just nonstop. And I'm trying to be the voice to let people realize, when we're talking about, you've got this initiative, this, drain is trying to figure it out and how to solve it. We always say, East Baton Rouge Parish, that's what we're looking at, here. But what I think, if memory serves, I think the parish is like 400, it's like 470, almost 500 square miles, that people don't realize how big this isn't. Driving up and down I-10 and you got some drainage problems here. We're a big parish and there's a lot of ground to cover. And
That's true.
I don't think people take that into account. They're like, well, it's easy when it floods. It just floods here, here, and here.
Right.
So there's a lot of work that's involved in trying to cover 470 square miles, 60 something thousand drainage. I forgot what you said, but it's a lot of work and it's getting there.
Yes.
So that's good. I think we're making progress there, and hopefully everybody will just understand that we are. I did want to talk because you've got, now this a youth advisory council, where we talked the last couple of months, kind of about the youth workforce, program, but this is not to be confused. You have now a youth advisory council. So you mind telling me a little kind of how this came to be, or what's the story?
It has certainly been promulgated over the years among mayors, and every mayor, I'm sure, has their own spin around it. But I will tell you, I feel very committed to advancing the youth in our community and to creating the next generation of leaders, or should I say, contributing to the next generation of leaders. Singer India.Arie has a song and she calls it Better People. And she says part of the lyrics say, when young people talk to old people and old people talk to young people, it makes us better people. And so I couldn't agree more. So that's what our Mayor's Youth Advisory Council is about. And we're launching it for the year 21-22. Every time we have it, every year we select a group of 10 to 12th graders to serve as advocates for the youth in our city and in our parish. So they become the voice for the youth in our city and our parish, contributing to the mayor's office. We didn't do it last year because of the pandemic, but we're getting back on board this year. And we're accepting students from public, private, and charter schools, and will allow each school to have up to 2 representatives. Now, applications will close September 8th. So you need to get your application in at myacbr.com. That's myacbr.com/apply. And selected participants will have regular meetings twice a month and will attend events and activities relative to their initiatives and interests. We have programs that they can participate in, such as community service projects, website development and management, internship opportunities, and professional development. So calling all students between 10th and 12th grade to come on and join the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. And that deadline is rapidly approaching September the 8th.
I was right about to say, what's the age on that? You don't want my 8-year-olds on that council. They'll tell you they just need Minecraft and Roblox. That's all they need. They'll be happy.
Sometimes they have some great ideas too. Those younger,
they do. It's funny. I don't know if I'd mentioned it to you, but there was a study that they did, and this could go down a rabbit hole. I won't let us, but it was on education, this longitudinal study that they did with kids. And every year they started like at kindergarten, and they would ask them, what can you do with a paperclip? And you would think after we educated kids that by the time they got to be seniors, they'd have all these different ideas, but it went completely the other way around to where like every year they had less and less to where by the time they were seniors, it was just kind of, well, I guess I can clip some papers, maybe try to pick a lock. But like the younger kids were like, can the paperclip be 100 feet tall and made of foam? You know, and they just, their minds were just wide open. And I think that's probably one of the good things that comes out of this, you know, youth advisories, because you've got, sometimes people are just kind of, well, that's the way we've always done it. That's the way that we're going to do it. And I think there's an old quote, you know, trying to remember how it goes, but it escapes me now, but to have some kind of new blood, some younger, you know, kids in there, have a little bit of a voice, but I think even more so for them to get a chance to really understand how this process works. I think a lot of people, even, you know, my age, and I think people have kind of stepped away toward almost, you know, kind of government, they do their thing and I'm going to do my thing, and they don't learn how the process works. So they don't learn how they can affect change. They don't learn who the people are. They feel unapproachable. You know, I remember one of the first couple of times that we had you know, you'd come on the show and I was telling people, oh, the mayor's from, they're like, why did you do that? I'm like, well, we asked. And she said, yes. You know, it was really simple. Like, well, how did you ask? It's like, well, we sent an email or a phone call. It's not, you know, you're the mayor, you know, here, but you're not untouchable. It's like, it's an easy ask. And so when these kids get on these councils, they can, you know, bring some new ideas. They can meet some people learn how it works, and maybe you get a little bit of change out of it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So, well, I'm excited. So they've got until, we've got roughly a week and a half ish, 2 weeks, you know, to kind of get an application in.
Yes.
So, and you said it's 2 from each school?
Correct.
So
we will accept 2 from each school. We will allow each school to have up to 2 representatives.
Wow. That could be a lot of, you know, people. I'm just thinking the amount of them. We might be going beyond the normal number, but I think we'll be able to manage it because I know we're going to implement some virtual experience into this as well. Well, that's awesome. Well, like I always say, everybody's got more important things to do than talk to me, especially you. I know you've got a busy day. There's a bunch going on. We're a Tuesday afternoon to date ourselves a little bit. So I appreciate you spending some time with us, kind of giving us an update on where things are, what's going on. And we love having you on every month to kind of give us the State of the Union for the unofficial way.
Well, thanks so much, Brandon. I enjoy this, and glad you're giving people an opportunity to kind of get a little up close and personal in terms of what's going on in the city and in the parish. So have a great day.
I think so. And I think, is it September? Because I remember I ran into you pre-COVID. Don't we have, for anybody, you know, shameless plug, just for Baton Rouge, don't we have the Michelangelo exhibit coming out? Yes. I think that's over at the River Center.
It is. And let me give you the date on that. I think I just looked at that. The exhibit is,
I think it's the whole month.
Yeah, it is the whole month. It's from September the 1st through the 30th. September
so kind of a big deal for Baton Rouge.
It is.
So it's I remember you did the press conference. I was there last year, and then everything like shut down, and then we lost it, but we got it back. So if you're looking for something to do, that's and you feel like, and you have a thing for art, that's something that somebody can go do. So just thought I'd throw that in there.
Absolutely.
For those who hung out with us and listened the whole time, we appreciate it. So, all right.
So
well, I appreciate the time.
Same
awesome.
here.
You have a great day.
You too now.